Hey chess players, welcome back to Your Chess Coach. November 5th, 2025, the FIDE World Cup in Goa, India. Round 2, Game 2. Indian Grandmaster Pentala Harikrishna faces Russian GM Arseniy Nesterov. They've drawn their first game. Now whoever wins this game advances to round 3. If the game ends in a draw, it goes to tiebreaks. Harikrishna has white. He needs a win. The pressure is immense. And then, on move 8, just 8 moves into the game, Harikrishna sacrifices his queen. But here's what makes this absolutely extraordinary. Harikrishna had prepared this exact line 9 years ago in 2016. For 9 years, he kept it secret, waiting for the perfect moment to unleash it. By move 29, it was over. Harikrishna won brilliantly, becoming the first Indian to advance to round 3. Today, I'm going to show you every critical variation, every trap, and why this game is the front runner for Game of the Year. Let's dive in. The game starts with e4. Black responds with e5. White plays knight to f3, and black plays knight to f6. The Petrov Defense, also called the Russian game. The Petrov is known as one of the most solid drawish defenses in chess, but Harikrishna doesn't want to draw, he wants a win. White plays d4, and black captures knight takes e4. White recaptures d takes e5, and black plays the aggressive bishop to c5. This is the modern attack variation of the Petrov. Black is exchanging the e5 pawn for active piece play and quick development. White plays queen to d5, centralizing the queen immediately and attacking both the bishop on c5 and the knight on e4. Black responds with bishop takes f2 check, forcing white's king to move. White plays king to e2. The king walks into the center. Already this is getting sharp. Black continues with f5, pushing the pawn and supporting the knight on e4. White develops with knight to c3. Let me show you what happens if black plays the wrong move. If black plays knight takes c3 instead, white plays b takes c3, and then if black plays normal bishop to b6, then here comes the brilliant trap. White plays bishop to g5. Look at this move. The bishop comes to g5 and black's queen is trapped. The queen on d8 has no squares. It can't move without losing material. Black has to play c6, and after queen to d6, still threatening to capture black's queen on the next move, black plays bishop to c7, attacking white's queen. White continues with queen to d3, and now black has no more threats, and after d5, white plays bishop takes d8. The queen is simply captured, and white is completely winning. So black cannot recapture with the knight on c3 and plays pawn to c6, attacking white's centralized queen on d5. And now we've reached the critical position, the position Harikrishna had been preparing for 9 years. White plays knight takes e4, sacrificing the queen on move 8. Now black has a critical decision. Should black accept white's queen sacrifice? But what if black doesn't accept the sacrifice? What if black plays f takes e4 instead? Then white plays queen takes e4. Black plays bishop to c5, and white plays king to d1. Now white has regained the pawn, the king is relatively safe on d1, and white can easily launch an attack on black's exposed king. White is better. So in the game, black played the critical move. C takes d5. The c pawn captures white's queen on d5. Black has won the queen. What's white's follow-up? White plays knight to d6 check. The knight comes to d6 with check, and suddenly black's king is in serious danger. If the king goes to king to e7, white has bishop to g5 check. This is a skewer. The bishop gives check, and after the king moves, white captures the queen on d8. White wins the queen back and is actually a piece up and completely winning. So after the knight to d6 check, black must play king to f8, the only move. And white recaptures, king takes f2, taking back the bishop. Let's pause here and count the material. This is crucial. White sacrificed the queen, 9 points. White captured the knight on e4, 3 points. White captured the bishop on f2, 3 points. So white gained back 6 points, and white is also a pawn down. White is down 4 points of material. That's the equivalent of being down a minor piece and another pawn down. But as my students know from my 15 years of coaching, material is only one factor in chess. Piece activity, king safety, and development matter just as much, sometimes more. Let me show you what white has achieved. First, black's king is stuck on f8. It cannot castle. It will be hunted for the rest of the game. Second, white's knight on d6 is a monster. It's controlling key central squares, cramping black's position, and it cannot be easily removed. Third, white's e5 pawn is a long-term asset. It's cramping black's pieces and limiting their mobility. Fourth, white has a huge development advantage. White's pieces are coming out fast, while black's queenside pieces, the bishop on c8 and rook on a8, are completely stuck. Harikrishna said after the game, "I remembered the line from a long time ago. It gives full compensation, but it's more satisfying that the engine even prefers it for black." Did you catch that? Even the computer slightly prefers black. But Harikrishna wasn't playing computer chess, he was playing practical human chess, betting that his opponent wouldn't know the exact defensive resources. In the game, black played knight to c6, developing a minor piece. White plays bishop to e3, developing and preparing to bring more pieces into the attack. Now here's an important detail. White played bishop to e3 and not bishop to f4. Can you find the reason? Because if white plays bishop to f4 immediately, black has queen to b6 check. The queen comes to b6, giving check and creating a double attack on f2 and b2. That's a nasty tactic. So white plays bishop to e3 first, preventing this check, and then continues with the plan. Black pushes d4, attacking the bishop, and now white plays bishop to f4, and black develops queen to b6, attacking the b2 pawn. White plays bishop to d3. This is key. The bishop comes to d3, stopping d3 advance with a check and solidifying white's position. If black now plays queen takes b2, trying to win the pawn, white can just ignore and start developing its pieces even more rapidly. So black doesn't take on b2. Instead, black plays knight to e7, trying to reroute the knight to better squares like d5. White plays bishop to d2. This is prophylaxis. White is preventing the knight from attacking his bishop before it happens. Black plays knight to d5 anyway, and white captures bishop takes f5. White takes the f5 pawn, opening lines and maintaining the pressure. Black plays knight to e3, attacking white's bishop. White retreats bishop to d3, and black plays king to e7, finally trying to get h8 rook into the game. White plays rook on h-file to e1. The rook comes into the game with tempo, attacking the knight on e3. Black plays rook to f8, activating the rook. And now, white plays the incredible rook takes e3. White is sacrificing the exchange after already sacrificing his queen on move 8. After d takes e3 check, white plays bishop takes e3. The d4 pawn is gone, white's bishop is beautifully placed on e3, and black's position is collapsing. Black desperately tries rook takes f3 check, checking white's king and trying to create counterplay. White plays king takes f3, and black continues with queen takes b2, grabbing the b2 pawn. But white has seen everything. White plays bishop to g5 check. The bishop gives check, and black moved his king to e6. White plays rook to e1, activating the last piece and preparing the final assault. Black pushes b5, trying to create counterplay on the queen side and trying to get his trapped bishop and rook into the game. But it's too late. White plays bishop to f5 check. The king is forced to d5.
White continues with bishop to e4 check. King to e6, the only good square. And white plays bishop takes a8. White wins the rook in the corner. Black tries queen c3 check, desperately looking for counterplay. White plays rook to e3, blocking the check. Black plays queen takes c2, and white centralizes with bishop to e4, attacking the queen. Black plays queen to d1 check, and white moves king to g3, getting the king to safety.
Black plays queen to h5, attacking the g4 bishop, trying to create threats. And here, white delivers the final move of the game, h4. This simple pawn push stops all of black's counterplay. The queen on h5 has no more checks, no more threats, no escape, and it's just too much for black to handle. Black resigned. Arseniy Nesterov shook hands, and Pentala Harikrishna advanced to round 3 of the FIDE World Cup. What an incredible game! A queen sacrifice on move 8, prepared 9 years in advance. Unleashed at the World Cup in a must-win situation. And it worked perfectly. The lesson? Deep preparation, understanding positions, not just memorizing moves, gives you the courage to play brilliantly. Harikrishna waited 9 years, and when the moment came, he trusted his analysis and his instincts. If you enjoyed this game, hit that like button and subscribe to Your Chess Coach. Drop a comment. Do you think this is the best game of 2025? Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes the best moves are the ones you've prepared for years. See you next time.